28 minutes to 9. Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. And now we turn our attention to the national conference. Well, if you look at the dailies today, you see some suggestions about some plans to the National Assembly now. But you know, they're supposed to reconvene, I think, in August to ratify what they've decided. Dr. Adetokunbo Pearse joins us now to just shed some light and analyze some of these matters going on. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Well, the National Conference, when it came to the considering the report of the devolution of power, that committee, they couldn't agree on so many things. And now it turns out that there are daggers drawn. Revenue sharing formula, they couldn't agree on that one. But from your perspective, did you see this coming?
I felt so. I think it was on this program that I suggested that the key issues of the conference would be the question of devolution of power and revenue sharing formula. And those are the key issues for the conference. And they are a major challenge, and I'm not surprised that there's a deadlock.
So to that extent, would you say that they've succeeded or not?
Well, I don't think that...
I mean, the essence of the conference in the first place.
Yes. The conference has, apart from the direct objective of coming to agreement on issues, there's also the spirit of dialogue and communication and openness, because now the conference has succeeded in showing Nigerians and the world that we have a major challenge ahead of us, which is unity as a nation. But it's better to talk about it, to keep on dialoguing about it, to bring it out into the open, than pretending that we don't have the problem. So, to that extent, I would say the conference has not been a total waste and it's not been a total loss. These issues must continue to be debated and to be discussed, and that's where we are now.
And the issues which you say define the conference, derivation, devolution of powers, you've seen, especially derivation, which, you know, was the crux of the matter, which they couldn't reach any resolution on. What did you make of their recommendation, sending it back to the presidency to establish the committee to look at the matter? You know, what did you make of that resolution?
Well, it seems that since the deadlock is there, it's a very sensitive issue that could even determine the very survival of this country as a nation, because this is where we are now in discussing this matter. That taking it back to a specialized committee is not a bad idea. So we will keep on discussing it, and let's see what happens now when the specialized committee meets on the matter. But, you know, everybody has his own opinion about what it should be. I believe that the areas where resources are generated should be accommodated much more than some people want to.
Do you see it as a catch-22 situation for the presidency?
Well, it is not the president that's going to decide. The president is going to formulate a committee of specialists to look into this. It is not the president deciding on anything. So his job is just to create the atmosphere, which he has done with the conference in the first place. Now they're going to a specialized committee. It's not a catch-22 for the president. The president has not been involved directly.
He's going to form that particular committee. You don't think that he will bear responsibility for whatever it is the committee comes out with?
Well, this is the problem with this country. Everybody seems to blame the president for everything. What else can we do? And he's not going to sit down by himself and say, I pick this person and that person. No. He's going to have a group of people who are going to advise him on how to constitute this committee, and the committee must be held responsible
it's not
for
a matter
its own
of
decisions.
it's not a matter of blame.
Yes.
I mean, I'm simply saying that if this gathering, which we all agreed was representative of Nigeria, could not agree on a particular matter and have referred it back to the presidency,
Sure.
the question will be, what is going to be new that this group, this committee will come out with that would be acceptable to all the parties. Do you really think that there's such a solution that we haven't yet found? Because it would seem that it's a zero-sum game, isn't it?
There is no suggestion that will be acceptable to everybody. But if the specialized committee comes up with a suggestion that meets the interests of a percentage of the conference, then we can't go further than that. I would say the president, if he accepts the finding of that committee, would have to bear the responsibility, as he always does, for the final decisions regarding these issues.
How feasible do you think that will be, considering that right now it would seem that we have a north-south divide on this particular matter?
Well, this is why we now go to a specialized committee that will be seen to be, as much as possible, people who are not, who are of impeccable character. A smaller committee would be able to decide faster and more efficiently, I think.
How would you want this be sorted out? Because if the 50 wise men, as the conference chairman would call them, couldn't actually get us to where we wanted, as to sorting out the issue of the formula, and now we're back again, throwing it back at perhaps maybe the presidency or the executive arm to see what they can do, if they would want to convoke another panel to look at that critically. What should they have done? Because that singular action by the conference has made some people to say they haven't actually done well.
Well, frankly, I was disappointed that the chairman of the conference would even suggest that they should go back to the presidency. Luckily, the presidency has decided that it will not be the president and the executive that will decide on anything, that they would now constitute another professional body that will look into it. So that's a way of trying to resolve the problem. Nothing is perfect when it comes to issues like this, but we must reach a compromise at some point. And I think that the constitution of the national confab was, very more political than it should be. So now, when we narrow it down to professionals, maybe we will make some progress.